I've got a question for you. If every CCTV camera in the world disappeared tomorrow, would surveillance disappear too? Take a second and think about it. Most people will probably say yes. And to be honest, I would have said the same thing when I first started working in security. Back then, I thought CCTV and surveillance were basically the same thing. Cameras watch people, so that's surveillance, right? The more I worked in control rooms and the more I started reading about the history of security, the more I realized I had been looking at it the wrong way. A few days ago, I found myself thinking about it again. We all associate surveillance with cameras, but if you strip the cameras away, what's left? That's when it clicked. Maybe, just maybe, we've been focusing on the wrong part of the story. Let me explain. Imagine you are standing on a top of a watchtower, overlooking the city. The sun is just coming up. The streets are quiet. You're not carrying a radio. There are no CCTV cameras, and even there are no monitors or even alarms. It's just you and your eyes. And so you're scanning over the horizon, and suddenly you notice something unusual. A cloud of dust from a distance, a group of riders getting closer. You can't really tell exactly who they are, but you know something isn't right. So what do? You alert the people instantly. The city has time to prepare because someone noticed a change before everyone else did. Now think about your own control room. Instead of looking across the open land, you're looking at camera feeds, and instead of watching one road into a city, you might be watching 50 cameras across an entire site. Instead of shouting from a watchtower, you're picking up your radio and calling the response team on the ground. When you look at it that way, a control room isn't really that different from a watchtower. Now, we've just replaced the stone walls with computer screens, and that's when I started looking into the word surveillance itself. It comes from the French word surveiller. Yeah, I'm not really good in French. Where the sur means over or above, and veiller means to watch or to keep watch. Put those words together, and the original idea was simply to watch over. Not to watch through a camera, just to watch. In fact, the word entered the English language in the late 1700s during the French Revolution to describe the close observation of people that were suspected of anti-government activity. Cameras had nothing to do with it. So maybe surveillance has never really been about cameras. Maybe cameras are just one of the many ways we do surveillance. One simple definition I like is this: surveillance is the close monitoring of behavior. Yeah, you can repeat that again. Surveillance is the close monitoring of behavior. That's it. The camera is just one way of doing it. It doesn't mention CCTV. It doesn't mention technology. It talks about behavior. And I think that's an important shift in the way we think as control room professionals. Because once you stop thinking that your job is to watch CCTV feeds, wait for alarms. You start asking better questions. What's normal here? What's changed? Why is that person behaving differently? Does this need a response? That's where real surveillance begins. Whether you're standing on a watchtower 2,000 years ago, or you're sitting in a modern security operations center, the mission hasn't changed. The mission still remains the same. And what's the mission? To observe, to understand, and to communicate. That's what surveillance has been and always has been about. In the next episode, we are going to look at an idea that completely changed the way the world thinks about surveillance. It wasn't a camera, it was a prison, and its influence is still with us today. My name is Patrick, a security control room consultant and trainer, and I will see you in the next video.